Even though I am a pelican, I'm still affected by the health of the coral reefs. This video is about the artificial reefs of St Kitts and Nevis. St Kitts and Nevis is a former British colonial sugar plantation island, located in the Caribbean in the Leeward Islands chain of the Lesser Antilles. The microstate federation gained independence in 1967 and has a population of around 50,000. Its economy, which collapsed after the fall of the agricultural sector, revolves mainly around tourism. Herein also lies the problem for St Kitts and Nevis. Its economy depends on the marine services that coral reefs provide within its territory, as these are an ecosystem which was known for their high biodiversity and biomass. Sadly, this is becoming less of a reality as coral reef health and that of its inhabitants is declining due to overfishing among other global causes. The Department of Marine Resources of the island is the main authority regarding all maritime issues, and they have been working on tackling this issue, stating that their vision is to conserve, manage, develop and sustainably use fisheries, aquaculture and marine resources in their waters. The government of St Kitts and Nevis has worked together with multiple organisations, such as the Nature Conservancy and the Living Oceans Foundation, to access the coral reefs around the island. Together, they hope to be able to manage the degradation of the coral reefs more closely and to be able to educate people on the current situation of the coral reefs. 2 artificial coral reefs were identified that are especially important to the tourism sector of St Kitts and Nevis. Both the MV River Tour and the MV Talata are sunken ships which now provide 3D structures on which corals can grow. Here, the reefs have once again provided habitats for many fish and other marine organisms. Due to the beautiful corals and the lively habitats with its many inhabitants, the sites are mainly attractive for divers. Next to the artificial reefs, the natural Sandy Point Reef was also found to be important for the fishing and tourism sectors of the island. However, along with these benefits for the island's economy, the existence of the artificial reefs has come with negative impacts for the surrounding natural coral ecosystems. The large influx of species from outer ecosystems to these artificial hotspots is seen as ideal by fishermen, who can obtain a much larger catch with less effort. The intensive fishing that comes with it results in the risk of overfishing the entire ecosystem. This is because the overall fish population constantly moves to the artificial reefs from the natural reefs, concentrating the overall population there instead of in the natural reefs. These fishing populations are a vital component in the functionality of the ecosystem, as they fulfill roles such as keeping algae at bay, providing nutrients and controlling pest populations. Without these and the resulting decline in a coral health, the reef cannot fulfill its own functions, namely providing food, shelter and habitat for a large variety of marine species on a global scale. With these problems in mind, we, alongside the St Kitts and Nevis government, believe that the correct course of action should be to sustain the ecosystem through informed decision-making and regulation. This would include monitoring fishing practices, creating non-fishing zones, and educating residents about the importance of the survival of their coral ecosystems. Ensuring that the local human population is involved and motivated is vital in order to successfully sustain the reefs, both artificial and not, of St Kitts and Nevis. A direct driver of change in this case is the exploitation of the artificial reefs. As previously mentioned, the overfishing causes fish to migrate from the natural reefs to the artificial reefs. This drainage of fish causes great pressure on the reefs. Overfishing as a whole undermines the ocean's ability to perform the critical ecosystem functions and services, thereby fueling the decline in overall ocean and world health. An indirect driver of change is, in this situation, the pollution. Pollution can cause a lower level of oxygen in the water, which fish need to survive. As a result of pollution, fish populations have shrunk over time. Worldwide, the fish population has crashed 50% over the last 4 decades. Director of the Department of Marine Resources has said, "We cannot blame fishers for overfishing. We have to look at ourselves on the land and see what we are doing to contribute to the problem of marine pollution and marine debris." Educating a population is probably easier said than done and quite a broad term to interpret. Is our goal to educate the fishermen or the entire community of St Kitts and Nevis? The former being the least expensive option, but with less effect on the culture surrounding fishing artificial reefs on St Kitts and Nevis. The other option is, as said, the more expensive choice, but will have a great effect on the community. Let us imagine, if we would have managed to educate 50,000 people, still many of those who are educated now will not have the choice to stop with the fishing, since their livelihoods depend on the very fish they are overfishing themselves. So, in order for education to be the better option, the entire economy of St Kitts and Nevis has to be reformed. If no big changes are made within the economy, overfishing will always be a problem. This brings us to the other leverage point, changing the policies around fishing. The solution looks quite simple on paper, but the reality will differ greatly from the theory. If you ban fishing at coral reefs, there is the chance that there will be a backlash from within the community, because you will remove many jobs related to fishing on St Kitts and Nevis. So, if you want to stay in power, this is clearly not the best approach. Besides, actually making the rules, there is also the issue of enforcing the rules that you have made, which can be quite the challenge if you are as an island state with a small population. In conclusion, the best approach of use of leverage points is a combination of all these different leverage points used at a different time and at a different focus. The most important leverage point to focus on in the beginning is the education to make sure the public view around the fishing the reefs changes. Then there is the policies around fishing the reefs. Lastly, there is the economic dependence that has to lower so the fishing around St Kitts and Nevis will become sustainable.
Shark, Pog,